But what I wanted to get into today, the big topic is the Steelers are going to have a new quarterback next season. For the first time in 18 seasons, they're going to have a new starter. In addition to a new quarterback, they're also going to have a new GM and a new defensive coordinator because Keith Butler just retired. So this could be a very different team. But let's talk about the quarterback. And also, here's what I want to do for this. We're going to have a giveaway. So to enter this contest, all you got to do is subscribe. You have to be subscribed or you can't win, first off. But we're going to go through the quarterbacks that we think have the possibility of being a starter next year. In the comments, I want you to put your prediction of who you think is the starter day one. If you're correct and you pick the starter for Pittsburgh day one, your name goes into a drawing with all the other people that got the correct answer, and one person will be picked a winner, and then you win the giveaway. I don't know what that is yet, but it'll be something. Sound good, Harry?
Sounds good.
Harry can't
win. Joe will let you know what it is.
I'll let you know what it is. I'll think of something interesting. Harry can't win. Joe can't win. So we'll go through them. There's been a lot of names floated out. Honestly, I think it's probably most likely going to be Mason Rudolph versus Dwayne Haskins. So at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot of drama, and then that's what we're going to get. But who knows? But again, we'll go through them. You guys make sure you subscribe. Go down and comment your guess on who the starter will be day one, week one, next season. And if you win, you could win the giveaway or whatever it is. So let's get into it. We'll save Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins. Those are most likely. A lot of names been floating around. There's a lot of free agents. I think two of the most likely ones I'm seeing is Jameis Winston and Teddy Bridgewater.
I don't think either of those would be great.
They've had solid season. And Jameis Winston, you saw in New Orleans, and Teddy Bridgewater, they're both guys where they're not spectacular, but they're guys that protect the ball good, and they're not going to necessarily hurt you on offense. Right? So these are guys that if you're looking for someone to come in until you get a good draft for a season or two or three, I feel like both those guys are decent enough where they can come in and not lose you football games. They might not be able to, do that 2-minute drive at the end of the game to win you the football game, but they're not going to cost you a lot of games by ball protection and bad judgment and thrown into triple coverage and things like that.
I don't know. It depends. It depends on the price.
Price definitely has to be there.
Winston really just hasn't got it together.
Yeah. He started good this season, and then he kind of fell apart late.
He started all right. He's very interception prone.
Yeah.
He just takes chances. He'll just gun it in there. Teddy Bridgewater, he's had his moments where he can play all right. He can be kind of like a game manager.
Mm-hmm. That might be what they're getting next year as a game manager.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of options.
Yeah.
So it's kind of take what you can get. He's probably Winston. I probably wouldn't want. I don't think you gain too much, especially for the price, because he's probably gonna be expensive. I think you're better off sticking with Rudolph or maybe Haskins. Bridgewater could probably better than them, and I think you could probably get him for cheap.
Yeah.
I still don't think he's the answer. Maybe a stopgap until you can get drafted QB next year.
I think that's what they're looking for at this point anyways.
Yeah.
Unless something happens with Rudolph or Haskins. Another name, Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's why I got the Ryan Fitzpatrick going on today. He's a free agent and been floated out there. You could get him for cheap. I don't think he's got starter potential anymore, though.
No, he could be I don't know. He's not a high-level starter.
But he could be a guy that you could bring in if you're saying, okay, Mason Rudolph versus Dwayne Haskins. Let's bring in a veteran guy in case those two don't pan out.
Yeah.
So he could be a guy that will sit the bench as your number 2 or 3, but he's there as a security blanket kind of.
Yeah, if you can get him for cheap, why not?
Yeah. Tyrod Taylor out of Houston.
Saying he's kind of like Teddy Bridgewater.
Mm-hmm. And Mitch Trubisky. That's one I've seen a lot of people want for some reason. They feel like he could get a second chance with Pittsburgh and revitalize something.
Similar to the Haskins situation.
Yeah. But, and when you're looking at that, I think Mitch Trubisky, I looked it up, he's like 28 and Haskins is only 24. So I think if you're going for redemption there, I'd take the 24-year-old. So I don't know. those are the free agents. There's other interesting names been put out. A lot of people talked about Aaron Rodgers. He's been flirting with the Steelers all season on the Pat McAfee show. Obviously, he's not a free agent, but he's indicated for the past 3 seasons he doesn't want to be in Green Bay. So they might move on this year. Russell Wilson is probably moving on from the Seahawks. Again, he's been dancing around with that for the past 2 seasons. You see either of those guys in Pittsburgh?
It'd be tough. The Seahawks would ask for a lot.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. The Steelers have indicated they don't want to like give up a bunch or risk draft picks to get somebody.
That's not really their way. I think with the Seahawks, they could very well ask for 2 first-round picks.
Yeah,
which would be a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, you'd have to pay a lot for him. And he's older. I mean, he's like 32 or something already. 32, maybe 33. I think 32. But that's a lot for a QB, an older QB. Yeah, he'd probably be good for the next. I mean, Rodgers is 37, 38, 37.
Yeah. I think he's older than that, but he's just a few years younger than Ben. So it's not like you're And he's had, similar playoff struggles. Like a lot of people point out, man, what's he done in the playoffs lately?
He's a good QB. It's tough.
Really.
It's he said he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild.
Yeah.
So is Pittsburgh a team that you can go to? And
you'd think they got the defense, even though we were one of the last in the league in run defense this year, right? Maybe plug a hole or two. I don't know.
We got the defense. I think we have a defense. I think the problem is we still have an issue with the offensive line.
Yeah.
I don't know how easy that'll be fixed. And as you saw, I mean, yesterday, these AFC teams, I mean, you got to score. I think we're definitely a playoff team. Maybe
if Rodgers comes in?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I think we'd be a playoff team. That changes
I think
a lot.
you're probably looking maybe 3rd or 4th best team in the AFC.
Yeah.
Even with Rodgers.
You might need someone like that too, because now in the AFC, man, you're going up. We saw last night, you're going up against Allen. You're going up against Mahomes. You have Burrow out there. You're not gonna skate by in this division anymore. If you really want to do something in this division, you're gonna need someone like that. I feel like.
Yeah, we could compete. I don't know if we'd be able to still overcome and beat those teams, but I think we'd be able to play against those.
That's
teams.
One thing. When I was watching that game last night, I was thinking, my God, what would the Steelers do in this game? They just get destroyed.
We saw it last week.
We did see it last week against Kansas
City. Got destroyed.
Another name that's been floated around for some reason. Well, Derek Carr, I think that's unlikely. They've been talking about him, but Jimmy G, for some reason, a lot of people have been thinking he's going to come to Pittsburgh. I guess because they feel like Trey Lance is going to get the starting job next year. So he's on the way out.
I think Trey Lance is coming. Jimmy G's not that great.
Mm-mm.
He's not that great.
But he's in the finals now, or the conference finals.
Yeah,
he's like, I see him.
He didn't do anything.
He's a game manager too. So I feel like I would rank him slightly above Winston or Bridgewater. So if you're going to go that route, he might be a better option if you don't got to pay too much.
Yeah, I'd rank him above Winston. He's probably similar to Tyrod Taylor and Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Now, there's somebody out there that would be worth a lot. It's a long shot. But there's a team shopping him around. Is that all for your list?
No, who do you got? Who's shopping around? That's pretty much it. I have Deshaun Watson on there too.
Yeah, him.
Is that who you're going to bring up?
There's 2 people. Two other people I've heard.
Okay.
Deshaun Watson, he's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a long shot possibility. But he's young. He's good until he ran into all this trouble he had recently. But he's a good QB that you could have for a long time. Mm-hmm. He would probably be expensive also. I think Miami's going hard for him.
And I heard he wants to be in Miami, from what I've heard. So I don't know if he's mentioned other teams, but I think if he does move, that's like. But then Miami, after they fired their coach, and I'm pretty sure their GM or their owner has said, hey, We're sticking with Tua. That's our guy. So I don't know if that means, if you could get Deshaun Watson, that might change things, right? But that's what
Yeah,
they said.
you say that because you got the guy on your team. You don't want him to be on your team and
Yeah,
say, "Oh, we're shopping for another QB,"
that's true.
and then you don't get him, and then the QB says, "F this, I'm leaving."
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
Deshaun Watson. I mean, I think everybody would be happy with Deshaun. He's a young guy. He's got a lot of talent, a lot of upside.
Mm-hmm.
He showed that he can make plays. He would be somebody good,
Yeah.
and he's mobile, which helps when you have a bad line. He can buy you
Mhm.
a little bit extra time.
I mean, out of everyone on the list or in potential running, that would be the guy, right?
Yeah,
Unfortunately, that's probably the least likely, I would say.
yeah, I agree. It's probably the
He
least
still
likely.
hasn't even figured out the legal troubles yet. I heard he tried to do a payoff, but it didn't go well. So I don't know.
Yeah, he may come back. He may start off suspended. I don't
Mhm.
know. I think he's on the exemption list. I don't know what all the situation has been a while, but
Last I heard, he's not even on the exempt list. He's just not playing, but he can play.
well, we'll see how it all works out.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's also Kenny Pickett. A lot of Pitt fans want Kenny Pickett. I don't think guys, at the risk of upsetting a lot of people, I don't think the Steelers are going to draft Kenny Pickett. Even if he fell to
Depends.
them at 20, I would be shocked if they drafted a QB this year.
Depends how far he drops.
I mean, I don't see him. I think he's good enough where he probably doesn't drop past the first round. Someone's got to grab him, I feel like. He
Yeah, I
may
mean, if you
fall
can
to
get him in the
20.
second round, you get him. But I
Maybe.
agree. I don't know if picking him at 20 is the right answer.
Sorry about that, everybody. Technical difficulties. Now I'm on a different screen, as you notice. But anyways, Harry, can you pick it? The Steelers draft him or not?
Oh, if we can get him I would say if we could get him in the second round. I don't know how plausible that is, but if he could
Yeah.
drop that far, I would take him. But in the first, I don't know. You got to see what's available.
Yeah.
I think you have other.
Personally, I know Pitt fans are going to be mad at this. I don't think he's good enough. I think a lot of times in college, and I think in West Virginia fans, you saw it a lot with Will Greer. A lot of people thought he was better than he was, and he was going to go to the NFL and be a. I never felt it for him, and I think a lot of Pitt fans are the same way. This guy came to your school, he gave you the best season you've had in years, maybe in your lifetime. But I think he's kind of overrated. So. Now, I don't want to offend anyone. He's a great college player. He might be an NFL player. I just don't know if he's a top 20 pick.
Yeah.
So,
We'll see. We got to
be
see.
wrong.
Yeah, there'll be more evaluation. You got to see who's available.
Mm-hmm.
We got other holes we need to fill also.
Plus, that's the thing. I think there's more critical things to take care of in the first 2 or 3 rounds, mainly your line.
Yeah, I don't think he's a sure thing worth. We're gonna take him.
Yeah.
He's there. If he was, he would be going earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never been a big fan of this QB class. So
And
last year was a different story. Last year I liked it, but so I'm fine. If you don't take a QB, I know you need it. I know it's a big need, but you don't want a first round pick is really valuable.
Yeah.
You don't want to waste it on somebody you kind of feel could be okay. I would just take the best player you can get because the first round pick is supposed to be one of your better players and you're going to have for a long time. So
let us know what you guys think. Remember, if you pick correctly, the starter week 1. Now, the contest is you can't pick someone that the Steelers pick up. So if you say Ryan Fitzpatrick and they pick him up, but he's sitting on the bench, you got to pick the week 1 starter to be entered to win the contest. So who's the week 1 starter? Put in the comments. You got to be subscribed. So subscribe. Tune in the next few weeks. We'll talk about what you're going to win. But all said and done, Harry, who starts week 1 for the Steelers next year?
Week 1 for the Steelers. Man, it's wide open.
People, who is it?
You said Rudolph? What did you say?
I didn't say anyone yet. I'm going to say Rudolph. Spoiler alert. I think, unfortunately, that's what it's going to be.
He's going to say Rudolph.
Has seemed to indicated it's headed that direction.
I'm going to go, and I'm going to say, I'm going to go somebody that we haven't said. I don't know. It's wide open. But just to throw it out there, I'm going to go Marcus Mariota.
You know, I had him on my list and I crossed him out.
Yeah. I don't know.
Originally on my
I don't
list,
think
like my list is too long and I don't think this guy's coming. But hey,
I don't think it's very likely any, but
you never know.
we'll see. I don't know. Rudolph would probably have the highest chance. I think.
Safest pick, right?
Yeah, but I don't think it's by a lot. I think it's definitely out there, and you kind of got to see how everything falls later on. But
Hey, you do have an opening. They could bring in one of these guys, even if they don't start. I think you have a third spot. I don't think they're going to go. Maybe they keep Josh Dobbs in that third spot again. I don't know if it's Dobbs, Haskins, and Rudolph. But unfortunately, I think you're going to have Rudolph and Haskins fighting for the job. And I think unless Haskins really turns into Superman, I think Rudolph's going to be your starter week 1. So
my favorite would be Watson, but
yeah, I hope. Yeah, I mean, I don't see that happening.
I don't see it happening either.
He's got too much legal troubles, and then you got to figure out how to get him there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh well.
That's what it is. Remember, subscribe, comment down below who you think the starter is, and you could win whatever it is.
Whatever the mystery prize.
The mystery prize. Tune in the next 2-3 weeks. We'll let you know.